88.5.
Kings. From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working on a profession, you got to step down and protect your country, so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
This impedimenta, combustible and volatile lemma, in its maximum exoneration, reminds me of the biblical Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. What germinated the abnegation and repudiation? What an academic mwahaha! Academic yo-ho-ho, caused by these political yo-yos, political yobos, in their leadership rococo, leadership rababaration, in conjunction with administrative bemusement, holy poly, and discombobulation, in their obstreperous, malevolent shenanigan and hocus pocus agenda. Your boo-boo has poo-pooed into your business. The bifurcation and abdication of the vision in the name of honorificability to the dignitatis, just to score cheap political points. Then floxina or sinihilipilificating. You see, distility, politicals of torrent rodomontates and defalcators that you and I know. The lab notation of their eleemosinaries, ostentatious and libidinous lifestyle shows that they are out. Oh! Obliteration, mutilation, decapitation. Say no to this academic bantigism, academic noctambulism, and academic malocclusion, which their children are not part of. It's in a political hogomondogos way. Yes, the Muay Thai. We are in a debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political muahaha. Political yo, political holy poly. Tell Mr. President, we are tired of the mendacilloquence, prostitute, and Zabanism. Yes, mendacilloquence, telling lies in an awful way, prostitute, propaganda. is in a political somnambulism and malocclusion. It's in a financial and economic bantigism. Look at the way the game politics is becoming a bugaboo. What a political holy-bully. What a political hoity-toity. What a political foodie-doody. What a political hocus-pocus you have come with. What a political jabberwocky. What a political poppycock. What a political gobbledygook. With this consternation, I ask that you accept my pertinacious circumlocution, accept my pertinacious circumambagous, grandiloquence, and magniloquence. But I will tell you this: I will not koto in Japoho. I will refuse to koto in Japoho. Thank you. It is appalling. That is the reason I've been in a compendious, laconic lacuna, not a recapitulation. But let me tell you this: that it is Leka and pulchritudinous, that in a legotla, in an imbizo, flagitious and enervating lematas were excogitatedly ruminate how the recidivistical politicals move from budget disappearance to budget doctoration. But now we are faced with a debilitating, exasperating thing with a financial lobotomization. But I pray that this will not ignite a clamorous remonstration. Now, come to think of it, how dare they deplete the citizens of their obstreperous and vociferous modus vivendi? Enough of this vilification and solipsism. This is execrably pugnacious, pestilential, and attenuating. Imagine the imbibition of the political rodomontades, which has kept us in an abject ululation. Why? This is sardonic, opprobrious, malevolent, contumelious, erroneous, lugubrious, and exasperating. What a political baloney. What a political ballyhoo. What a political bunkum, balderdash, and hogwash. At this point, I will borrow the words of the great sesquipedalian logomanian, that it is crystal clear, like the biblical mene teke you've seen, that this administration has no blueprint on socio-economic matters. But I will advise you to tell Mr. President that following his antecedent and pedigree, we know him, he can do better. Tell him to do better. But at this point, we will not koto in Japoho. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. What an opprobrium, what an odium. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. What an opprobrium. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. What an opprobrium. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. What an opprobrium, what an odium, what an ignominious memento, that even at the barbituration of the so much acclimatized by a scrupulous, fastidious, puritanical, boisterous, energetic, and a routine to teen, but today for party affiliation, sentiments, for political somnambulism and malocclusion, he has chosen to remain close-mouthed, reticent, taciturn, uncommunicative, and unforthcoming, meaning he has kowtowed in their poll.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law Because the politicians will go away, the regime will pass away, but your country will stay, the law will stay, your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Having kept watch over us by God to speak truth to power, irrespective of who involved, how they feel. But the ultimate goal is to make Liberia better, and we can't do it any better than the responsibility we got. Thank you again. Let's have a great weekend together. Hope that you are faring well. And I have placed goodwill call to all of you people, must you also do. If you haven't placed a goodwill call to your friend where the weekend, please place a goodwill call to your friend, your relative, whatever the relation. Please place a goodwill call. If you can place a goodwill call, well, I don't know. So welcome, man. Let's have a wonderful time. We've got the info to share with us, the bits and pieces on our plate, and it goes alongside money. We give you information. We sacrifice moving here and there from one end to another, from one street to another, from one building to another. We put in the financial sacrifice, the energetic sacrifice, or energy sacrifice. We come to base and then put the bits and pieces together and then get ready to send it out to you, because you are the ultimate judge to make the decision, and then we pay you along. You'll see, we are the loser, you are the ones who gain. So play the King's Cash giveaway. Start playing. Dial star 799 star 24 hatch. Play with 200 TGIF in Monrovia, Liberia. TGIF. Acknowledgement that God kept watch over everybody, and He, by His grace, goodness, love, mercy, brought everybody to the weekend. And the weekend, they will amuse themselves as per their preference and financial ability, with the expectation that God will take them into the week ahead to get started with another round of work, and then into the weekend they de-stress again. Yes, so it's TGIF. Everybody can de-stress whichever way you can as per your preference and financial ability. They say Too much work without play makes Jack a dull ball. Well, I don't think too much work makes Jack a dull ball, but it weakens Jack. And if Jack isn't careful, Jack will fall off. And if luck is not on Jack's side, Jack will die. We have seen too many workaholic Jack falling off and some under the ground. And so I don't think that statement makes Jack a dull ball, as they say. No, because the more you work, the more you gain, but you can overdo. Jesus Christ was an incessant, or we say workaholic worker, but he was very cautious. All that Jesus did, he was gaining knowledge and supplying knowledge, but he was very cautious of his health. Jesus was a Jack, but he was a cautious Jack. He did not let loose of his humanity. So you can be a Jack, but cautious Jack. So at the close of the day, you want to refresh yourself. You want to take a rest. You want to just do a simple realization because of the elasticity from Monday to Friday. When you overuse the body, guess what? You will die. And when you die, it's over. Not an excitement. No, do not take it that way. I am saying, I speak from reality. Some of the frames that they will be putting beneath the ground or burying on tomorrow, Saturday, they play the overlay Jack role. They overwork and they stress their system so much so that they could not, and they gave up the ghost. Not all of the frames that will be placed beneath the earth or buried tomorrow are people or frames from accident or different things, sicknesses. So some of the frames are from overusing. And we'll talk about that at the close of the show. But just so you know, never ever attempt to overuse yourself. De-stress. Johnson Gear, you've come on from Port Town, Lower Magibi County. Tom Williams from Congo Town Catholic Community. Ansu Coleman, the economic freedom fighters of Liberia. Juju Wonwe, Johnsonville. Victor W. Ben saying you didn't say where you are following from. Thank you so much. This is God's provision. Benson David Victor said, I like your dress code this afternoon. Thank you so much. That is God's provision. Whatever God supplies us, we are appreciated. If it is not forthcoming, we remain content. We sit in the fullness of time. It happens. Thank you, Victor. Masare Abdullah, you are on from JJY Community. Barbara Rose Stanford, you are on from Brooklyn, New York City. You say thanks for the update to our motherland. Thanks for coming on too. Hope that you are faring well. Okay, Victor, you are on from Doe Community. Jackson C. Pony Jr., you are following alongside your chairman, Romancio Latupan from District 13, specifically Block 13 Intellectual Center. Good to have you guys on. Chairman Romancio Latupan, Kenny Ball, or Rico, as he's widely known, the down-to-earth chairman, the only chairman that never ever takes into his life anything aristocratic or bourgeois. He identifies with everybody just as Jesus would do, respects everybody for who they are, whatever the belief they put on. And I am thrilled by his lifestyle. Ultimately, he is a die-hard Weashan. You and he and his Wea, you can play with it. You can even stand in from here and say anything you want to say, but don't show disrespect to Wea. Then, good to have you on, Chairman Romancio Latupan, Kenneth Ball, or Rico for short, Chairman for life. Alvin Yan, you're on from Chicago, the United States. Heron T. Told Junior from where your residence in Caldwell. J. Heron now from Fendel Caulfield, my southeastern sister Clady Allison, you are on. Yes, you are on from your end. Hope that you are faring well. Juj, that's J. Tugbe. J. Tugbe from New Georgia Sign Bowl community. You are on. You are on. Rove Bodua Bind from Phoenix, Arizona, the United States of America. Daniel Zionwe from Phoenix, the USA. George, that's Bappin Paul Lee, Johnsonville. All the names are running out of breath too, so because the names are just many. Lawrence Harris, Helen Wilson, Sam Qualalon, that's Walalon. Okay, hey, Gion sister, Dinah Davis. Yes, we are. In Spanish, they say campione. Campione. Dinah, we are the champions. It was just a matter of time. Oh, you hear the news? Yeah, man. The guy suffer Edo. You see, listen, in life, you will do certain things. It will work for you the first, second, third, fourth time. But if you think it worked for you the sixth time, you can do for the seventh, no. The referee now that handled the match between Inter Milan and Barcelona, he has been excluded from major competition. FIFA took a stand after reviewing his entire, because at the close of the day, two things happen. You will submit your report. They call it a post-match report. Everything. That is why you hear that when something happened, say the player play a given foul, and everybody will be suspecting that he will receive a 6-match ban or a 3-match ban. But then at the close of the day, you hear the person, the FA announced that he will be suspended for a game, and then every one of us get vexed. That is dependent on the report given by the referee. Every time a referee takes to the pitch, he has to submit a report of the entire match, how it went. Also, he has his officials who are supervising his performance in accordance with the rule. And when they see that he's in clear breach of the law, despite his report, they equally have the right to do a careful appraisal and do a recommendation. So FIFA committee responsible for all of those things, they took their time to review the match because there were concerns. The criticism, not necessarily that because Barca raised a concern, no. But FIFA was concerned by the overwhelming criticisms and condemnation from around the world. And they decided that it borders on the reputation of the credibility, the fairness of the game. Hence, they needed to do something. So the refereeing committee sat down and do a careful review of the entire match. And they realized that he ran into errors. Some of the calls were not necessary. Some of the events on the field he should have blown. He should have blown because they adjudged some of those events to be foul. He let it go. So they took a decision. That's what they do. They allow you to rest for a certain time. They're not excluding you completely from FIFA refereeing your team, no, but they feel that you were under certain, so they gave you that time to come out, psychologically examine yourself. They will assign some professionals to you to talk to you. The white people, they're just different. They don't believe in suffocating you. They believe in refining you, just as the tribulation period is for refinement. So they were assigned psychologists to you, sports psychologists who went through all of those things to talk to you. That's what happened to the referee. So he's off. He's off for a while. But it doesn't say that FIFA can overturn. No, they will not overturn the result, but they can take action against the referee. So they took action. He's off until otherwise FIFA find it necessary to hand him the whistle again. So on yesterday, Dinah will get to that. Hope that you celebrated. Yes, I know, Gion's sister, you celebrated. Okay. Yeah, all of you celebrated. My guys celebrated. FCB, the world's greatest. Okay, so thank you all. Did I see my Southeastern sister Dwight? What is happening? I didn't. 3 days now. I've not seen her on the show. What is happening? Apparently, she's is busy. The people on that side they are very busy people. Not like us in Liberia. We can take our job like a plaything. People on that side they are very, very, very serious, system-driven country. So they don't mess up with anything. That year we play fun with job. Okay. All right. So let's get started. But know that we're giving out some money. It's $10,000 we are giving out the weekend. Well, I can tell you, I can persuade you. I can beg you in any way to take it. It's the weekend. If you don't want it, well, then it's up to you. But I can tell you that it is 10,000 up for grabs. Dial *79 and *24 hatch. Play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US. And then you can have your weekend 10,000. We stay in a unification era. So you can get your 10,000 and place a goodwill call to somebody that you can amuse yourself with. It could be that special person of yours. 10,000. You can place a goodwill call so you can take it. We can get started without a very good institution, credible institution, reputable business institution that has made it their responsibility to be on Real Talk. They are so extraordinary in helping to alleviate people out.
Yes, yes,
Pee-wee,
yes.
what all the happiness for now?
Yama, the thing that making some of our friends in other countries can be building houses and sending their children to Google schools now come to Liberia, yeah?
What's that?
They got one Liberian company called Liberty Fortune.
Liberty Fortune?
Yes, this company bringing one game they call Liberty Fortune Scratch and Win game.
And how people can play this game?
Very easy. Buy their ticket and scratch the silver part on it. Just the same way you can do the scratch card. Then any money you see on it is for you. You can win different amount of money, all the way up to 10,000 USD.
So you mean when I buy the Liberty Fortune scratch card and build the silver part, any money there is for me?
Yes, and you only need just $1 USD on the same money LD to play and win.
But where I can get a Liberty scratch card from?
Go to the shops, go to the boys who sell scratch cards and tell them that you want Liberty scratch card. Pay, scratch, and win. And then you take the winning card to their office at the Don's residence on 2nd Street, Tottenham Boulevard in Cinco for your money.
Pee-wee, thank you for this life-changing game. Liberty scratch card, we for it every day.
Spend small money and win big money. A message from Liberty Fortune LLC, the new game changer in Liberia. Oh yeah.
And it's morning. Morning is time. The essence of life is morning. Without morning, you are dead. Not literal death, but you are dispirited. You are isolated. Self-isolation takes place. You feel inferior. But when you have money, you are spirited. You on top of the wall. Yes. So you want to just squash. Just a squash, and then it's 10,000. On the other flip, on the other side of it, dial *79 and *24 hatch, play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50, and then you can have your weekend 10,000. When you come out at 10,000 at least, you send me one bottle of surgery, that will be all right. 10K. It's the weekend. Let's de-stress ourselves. Okay. So let's get started. But we can go into what we have on our afternoon plate without telling God thank you, man. God has been so faithful, so good, so marvelous, so wonderful from Monday to Friday. We've been going through a lot. You would not know, but God is with us. In the midst of the battle, God is with us. In the midst of the threat, God is our shield. In the midst of the trials and temptation, God hovers us. With this, we can never ever be ungrateful. We acknowledge God. We do not have armed men protecting us here every day and night. We don't move with armed men. We don't move with security. After facing Nebuchadnezzar and his host, we are out in the midst of the same bad people, and God will blindfold their eyes, and God will lead us. And then what did he say? After I've done all to you, for you, you want to say, thank you. Thank you. 10 lepers that he healed. What did he say when only one went back? He said, weren't you 10? Weren't you 10? Where are the other 9 to come back and say thank you? Except for this one, who is a foreigner, will come back to say thank you. We put ourselves in that one man's position to show a debt of gratitude to God. We acknowledge him and we exalt his holy name. We start with this from the group Elevation Worship. It's called Never Lost. God in heaven never loses a battle, and he will never ever. He hovers us. All of what they try to do to us, the battles they will create for us, God in heaven will overturn their battle. Whatever the valley of death they will set for us, God will turn everything into shadow. That's what he is. He never loses a battle. It's called Never Lost by the group Elevation Worship, lead singer Israel Houston. God is faithful. God is good. We thank him. Yes. All right. Let's get started now with what we've got on our plate. Not much this afternoon in Liberia under the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. So, in life, you want to treat people and situation as Jesus did, with skepticism. Not everything that people say you get so excited from the onset. It is good to be excited, but it is equally of normal thinking to be skeptical. Skepticism is not an absolute doubt. Skepticism is just positioning oneself with the observation of what the person had said to see it coming to pass. And then you can do a commendation if you find it necessary. But if you are just carried away by statements and the kind of way the speech will go out, not having a full understanding of your own culture, you will just have yourself to blame at the end of the day. Government officials are not people to take their words as absolute truth. No. Everybody that comes to power, appointed by the president, will soon want to gain public attention, media attention, by sounding so strongly rhetorical. But behind that is what is referred to as sophistry. Sophistry is a kind of fallacy, deceptive. That is why. And Jesus did the same thing. Jesus treated every word. He treated situation and people with skepticism. Not that he was doubtful of them, not that he was faithless, not that he was discriminating, but that is how you go on in life. It is not everything that people tell you, just accept it 100%. You receive it as a good information, private information. Then you move to the second phase to observe. If it is something for you to go investigate investigatively, then you can move to validate it. The LCC boss, we saw many of those things. We saw government officials, they sounded so strong, so optimistic. Don't be carried by government officials when they sit before the microphones and the camera. Listen, it's just a publicity stunt. Go beyond that. Not that the white man is extra, but I think to some extent I believe and trust and like the white man. But it doesn't say I am a racist. I draw this lesson from, they use the same formula. White man, watch it. When you have a gathering in Liberia, watch it. That gathering is mixed. You have the white color and you have the black color. This is not wrong. Even in the very America, they say that, they preach that in their churches, they talk that on the radio station. So don't say I'm sounding racist. No, because you will be in a gathering of white people and black people. When the speaker reaches a point and says something, you will see and hear the black people clapping superficially. Some of them even know why they're clapping. You will see the white skin sitting attentively. You know why the white skin isn't clapping, or the white skin will not clap? Not that the man or the lady is not making sense, but the white man, giving his literacy, will want to see that good thing that the person has said, how is it going to come to pass? So they will put their analytical skill to it. Watch most of our public gatherings. Let me use the State of the Nation address, whether you have 99.9% of the white skin as people from the diplomatic corps there. Every time the Liberian president reads a line, what do you see? You hear resounding clap, predominantly the black. Every little line they clap, every line they clap. So at the close of the day now, when the address is over, they come outside, and when the media is engaging them, they can't tell you anything significant. You only hear them say the president's address was good, and I think we're moving forward. The president, but they will attempt not to be analytical because they understood nothing. The only thing they were excited about to see the person standing over there talking to them, and then every night then they clap. I am saying this to tell you, they bluff, they showcase, the publicity stunt created by LEC boss. I know these government officials. Come on. The man went, what is it? What extra knowledge this man has that his predecessors don't have? What is it that he has done in a relatively short time that his predecessors did not do to make sure that current was stable? The same thing the man doing, hustling for current year and they're entering agreements. His predecessors did that. There is nothing Mohammed Kamara or Mohammed Sharif doing extra, nothing. He took over on the brink of the rain season. We had ministers, LEC directors rather, making that same statement when they took over. We had that same thing because we're on the brink of the rain season. Over the days, what did LEC announce? LEC announced power shortage or shortages in some areas. Did you ever expect that? The current had been flowing relatively. People were excited. Oh yeah, the new LEC managing director is doing well. Oh, you mean all kinds of things people were saying. I just laugh. What happened now? LEC released a statement. We didn't go. They released their own statement saying, due to XYZ problem, there will be power outages in certain communities at certain time of the day. They said it. They released a statement. They put it on maintenance. That's what they put it on. Maintenance. From the onset in their statement, they did not say what the LEC boss was taking on. He did not say, oh, look, gentlemen, we're inheriting this, and we'll do this, we'll do that. We did not inherit a 100% system. We inherited that. Along the way, we will have shortages because we'll be doing this. He presented it like everything was going to be rosy. He went on to brag that under his watch as LEC boss, current will not go. Not a single house within the city and adjacent or out of the city will experience power outage. Everybody will be on 24/7. Isn't that the reason people were excited? And people who had current for a week or two, they started making mockery of themselves, telling LEC to carry current for at least 24 hours or 30 hours because they're enjoying it so much. In some community, the people have started complaining now that they're not experiencing electricity again. So they put it on what they call routine maintenance. Their routine maintenance here now is getting serious. Some of you following me, listening to the radio, your community off. Some of you had current in your community for 34 hours. It's off. Some of you came on this morning. You got current this morning. Some of you, as we speak now, your current off. Your community off. The system, our system, we don't have a system. What we have is makeshift. Politicians will come. Once that person is a political appointee, he will say things to please the people, to give the people the impression, to make the people to know that the president appointed a very good person who knows the job. Ironically, the president himself even knows the presidency. So to say, oh, look, gentlemen, we have taken over this, is going to be this, we encounter this problem along the way. Let us have you informed so that when you are experiencing it, it wouldn't be a surprise. However, we'll try to make the current stable, but it doesn't say that we will not encounter or you will not encounter problem. That's how leaders do. They leave room. They leave room against the public, blaming them. So when it's happening, they say, but the managing director said it. The man said it. So they put it on maintenance and the agreement I got in with Transco CL. They said the Liberia Electricity Corporation informs the public of a routine maintenance exercise is currently underway in the interconnected transmission line between OMVG and Transco CLSG network. This crucial regional activity aims to enhance the stability and reliability of electricity transfers across the West African power pool system. As a result, there will be a temporary reduction in power flow through the CLSG transmission line, which may lead to intermittent power outages in parts of Monrovia and surrounding communities. While the LEC technical team is working diligently to minimize the impact of optimizing domestic generation through the Mount Coffee hydropower plant and terminal facilities, our regional partners, including WAP, Transco CLSG, CI Energies, and Cote d'Ivoire, EDG of Guinea, and Sinelec of Senegal, are working tirelessly to resolve the situation, and restore full power flow as swiftly as possible. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may cause and deeply appreciate the public patience and understanding during this essential maintenance period. What the two statements in previous administration, I think I should have copied them. Yeah, similar thing. There and then we started experiencing power outages. And then the latest one, the reinforced, this one was on May 11. The one beyond May 11, if I read that to you, you'll see. The guys, they have encountered problem. And this is not necessarily a routine. No, it is based on financial ground. I cannot tell you financial discrepancy or disagreement, but as far as my intel is concerned, it is not necessarily routine. It is purely financial. Something is not right somewhere with the agreement. One of the parties not satisfied. Therefore, a decision is about to be taken. Remember now, please let me go back. Listen carefully. It is not one institution. Listen to the LEC statement. You have several here. It said, why the LEC technical team is working diligently to minimize the impact by optimizing domestic generation through the Mount Coffee hydro plant and terminal facilities. Now watch it. Our regional partners, here they are: WAP, WAPP, Transco CLSG 2, CI Energies of Cote d'Ivoire 3, EDG of Guinea 4, and Sinelec of Senegal 5. 5 different partners. Remember, President Bouaga went Ivory Coast for the same LEC business. What they talk, they say, oh, it was moving. Yeah. Okay. Prince Hinan say Barnardsville has been off since 5:30. Since 5:30 this morning. So at 5:30 this morning, Barnardsville went off. From 5:30, let's just take it at 6 o'clock. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 is 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. So that 10 hours, Barnardsville being off for 10 hours because Prince Hines said they've been off since 5:30. Let's take it, it went at 6. From 6 to this time, that's 10 hours. 10 hours in between Barnardsville still being off. What kind of routine maintenance will take you all of those times? Something is happening somewhere. Something. When you have too many parties on the table, they have their individual agenda, and everything centers on money. The current, what reduces the government financial burden is the high rain season when the hydro is filled. Then most of what we receive comes from the hydro. So at the rain season, it is less cost. You're not paying in the hydro field, water flowing, so you have current all over. But when the hydro is partially filled, or it is low, or when it is not the number of gasoline, the number of fuel. I think they're using fuel, yeah, say fuel pretty close to 1,000 or even more than, I think 300 or more. It is not based on routine maintenance. LEC will not tell you because the managing director was loud enough. He trumpeted that he was the solution. Everything was going to be stable. There wasn't going to be any outage, stability, and regularity going to be the order of the day. So you see now, and you're going to see it if it doesn't rain. Thank God it rained last night. I was sleeping, so I didn't know. I can't say the intensity of the rain, but let us just be hopeful that it can rain for 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Then the water will swell, the hydro will get filled. But if, like the guys are saying, the people responsible to observe the atmosphere, like they are saying, climate change, and truly, usually in April, the rain starts from the 12th, the 13th, it rains every lot. But throughout April, we did not experience rain. We in May, we just experiencing drizzles. It rains small, it stops. Sun shining all through. If it continues all the way up to the dry season, forget it. You will see that one of these groups will tell Liberia that you are indebted or you are not fulfilling your part of the financial agreement. And therefore, we are pulling out. Because Liberia has nothing of its own. Nothing, absolutely. The Unity Party government sat down here, Boakai today. If Boakai is serious, it is one of the things, instead of running here and there using 10, 15 million to remove one person called speaker, he could have used that 10 million lobby for other money and changed that hydro, put a new hydro there. He and Ellen sat here. After the people gave them the money, they diverted the money. They put a makeshift thing over there. They say the hydro today is giving us hard time. What kind of country? Everything somebody got to help this country. Everything. Amen. Thank God. Check that in a curse. What kind of you living in life? You living everything people must help you. Everything people must do it for you. What kind of country is this? You can do nothing on your own. Small country like Ivory Coast, and they're supplying you current. You get that sunny over there, the jungle water stuff, Yeah, no condemnation. They're trying to some way, somehow. But the main thing is our hydro. That's what the hydro is there. Boakai and Ellen sat down here 12 years. They said they clear all the people food in. He and Ellen. They put food in and say, oh, lady, you only another hydro. Just few money. We just do that. We'll patch the one. We'll put the one there. All of them. They say, yeah, mumu. People use them. So you see, you people were just excited for nothing when our LEC boss said that thing. You're going to experience more power outage or outages. I just scanned in, a small screen. So say, yeah, LEC. What about big your man? I see you on our one. Yeah. Something is happening somewhere with that agreement. Something is happening. Yeah, it will come up. It will come up. And they put it on routine maintenance. So if routine maintenance, let's accept it as routine maintenance, just as we accept Boakai goodwill call. And we're looking up to him to go beyond the goodwill. So that will be doing it for that. Continue playing the King's Cash giveaway. It's 10,000 the weekend. Today is Friday. All the entertainment centers. Jam pack. Those of you who can ball, you're left balling. Well, it is a great opportunity to get 10,000. Those of you who have debt, you have to pay other people, or you have to do other things, or you need 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 to finish your children's school fee paying, take advantage of it. I'm not explaining anything the part you can take it, you want to take it out of business. So where do we go? Let's talk this one in passing. The politics in Liberia is so strong. So that the SATCOM will be shut down, will be closed. Yeah, will be closed if what I'm hearing, because they are in court, and they were taken to court. Front Page Africa is reporting that SATCOM might likely be shut down or closed. Yes. Front Page Africa is reporting that SATCOM is about to be shut down shortly on the order of the Court for Intellectual Property Theft filed by DSTV Liberia. DSTV. So they've been to court, and it looks like the case is going against SATCOM, and they might likely be shut down. So if SATCOM is shut down, then everybody goes back to the arcade period of the one TV dominance era, DSTV. Yeah. So let's talk Capitol Hill politics briefly. Then we're off politics. Let's talk Capitol Hill politics briefly. But continue playing. That *799 *100 hash. Not 100, 24 hash. The *799 *24 hash. Play with $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US. And then you get your 10,000, and you can place a goodwill call to anybody of your liking. So Capitol Hill or Senator Edwin Melvin Snow, Rivo. Let's talk Rivo politics. Senator Edwin Melvin Snow, Rivo. The president on yesterday, Unification JMB. On yesterday, is it yesterday? 14, May 14. About unification. And he said that he demonstrated what unification is by placing a goodwill call to his predecessors and other people, politicians, and institutions.
I, earlier today, placed special goodwill telephone calls to former presidents Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and George Manuel Weah, as well as eminent national leaders Benedict Wilfred Ure and Alexander Benedict Cummins. I also reached out to the Liberia Council of Churches and the National Muslim Council of Liberia, as well as the chairman of the National Council of Chiefs and Elders of Liberia. This is our own way of forging the spirit of unification and inclusion, assuring all that our doors remain open for any meaningful engagement that will help our hands in nation building. As we commemorate this important day, let us recommit to the principles of national unity, patriotism, and collective progress. Let's each do our part wherever we are and in whatever we do to build a Liberia that is peaceful, equitable, and prosperous for all. May God bless us all, and may He continue to bless and save the Republic of Liberia.
So, what Boakai should have done that everybody expected him to have done, and that is what the leader would do. Leader leads by example. Leader leads by example. The ruler leads by autocratic, dictatorial, tyrannical, despotic demand. Leader leads by example. And it is our understanding that the word president means one who leads by example, and his subjects follow. That is why the historians will give us a gulf between a leader and a tyrant or dictator or despot or tyrant. Boakai, what he should have done was what Edwin Snow did, Senator Snow. Snow demonstrated. Snow showed to him. Snow belittled him. Snow taught him a simple lesson that bragging, leaders don't brag. Leaders swallow the bitter pills, and leaders take on responsibility. Even when his subjects don't like it, he moves and they will follow. Snow today, just before I came on the air, took on himself to go to the president. He said, as part of our continual observance of National Unification Day, I had a distinct honor of sharing breakfast this morning with His Excellency Joseph Yima Boakai Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia. This important engagement was made possible. Oh, right. They call him the man nickname Revo. Revo. Only certain people know that day. Revo. So he went to Boakai and said, Chief, you said you placed goodwill telephone call to former presidents Weah and Ellen and political leaders Alexander Cumming, Benina Ure, the Religious Council, the National Muslim Council. But this is how it is done. This is how it is done. You want to move to the people because unification is not a mere talk. Unification is a command. To put that in biblical context, because we are Christians, let me tell you what it means. It is a command. It is not an option. It is not a free will. It is a command. God commands that you do it. That's why he said, go and reconcile with your brother. He did not say, I beg you, I hope you should, I think you should, or you might. No, he said, go and reconcile. Do it against your will. Isn't that what God said? All of us are Christians, and Boakai is a Christian leader. Boakai is a Christian leader. The Christian will go and say, brother, I'm here to you. Whatever the situation, I've come to greet you. Just to say hi, and we need your expertise. It is a command. Worshiping God is a command. It's not an option. If you are a Christian, everything you see in the Bible is a command. God did not put any option there. But if you choose to be optional, what it says is you will feel the consequences. But if you choose, if you go according to the dictate or the command, then you're on the right side. Then you're worshiping God. So he said, go and make amends. Go and unify. Go and forge unity with your brother. The Bible is practical. Everything the Bible is practical. Boaka is a deacon in the church. We didn't know that his own church announced it. And by our understanding of our little Bible history, a deacon is a minister of the gospel. A deacon is a custodian of the mystery, the oracle, which is the word of God. And if the word of God says that you reconcile, you unify with your brother, and you refuse to do it, then you are not of God. Then you are of the devil. Because only the devil does not reconcile. Only the devil lies. Oh, yes. So when Snow say that unification, we can't talk the thing in our mouth. If this country must come together, if we must hold together as former and current leaders, if the world should see us as a united country, if God should pour out his blessing upon this country, then we must demonstrate it. And I showed that broke Boaka down today. Yeah. It broke him down. Listen, leader, as a leader, you're not too big to take on certain assignments, to take on certain responsibilities, to do certain things. You're not too big. In Liberia, we make the president to feel that he's equal to God, that everybody should fall down and worship him. No reason why you see most of Liberia presidents just look that kind of way. Don't do the one. Don't go to the person. George Weah was president. George Weah left the presidency and went to Boaka in his capacity as former vice president. Weah could have said, I'm not going to that man. Let him come to me. But Weah left and went to him. And Boaka appreciated that so highly. So God said, it is your turn. You are there now as president. Weah is off. Won't you mind doing the same? Matthew 7:12. Do unto others as you will have them do unto you. George Weah went to Boaka. Not only did he go to Boaka, but when Boaka fell ill, Boaka was sick. These same Unity Party ministers all over the place, they were doing nothing for Boaka. They were only waiting now to hear whatever the news. All of them were sitting in America doing nothing. Stanton Waterspoon comes to the scene. Costa is on the scene, following Boaka from one hospital to another. That they will end up making palaver among themselves that they were feeding Boaka. The vice president, the former vice president of Liberia, told us that Boaka was suffering from heart problem, and that night she had gone to see him, or that day she had gone to see him, and she stayed there into the night. Around 8 o'clock she was there, and she left, and she got a telephone call that, oh, his condition has worsened, he's seriously sick. And according to her, she immediately telephoned former President George Weah, who immediately arranged a charter flight with an amount available of 100,000 United States dollars to fly him out of the country for treatment. All of those people today, they're yelling all over the place, telling Boaka, don't do the one. Yo, these people, they calling we are mosquito brain. We are get smart away. That the we are that save Boaka life today, God first, we are second. Any humble, any conscious leader would say, let us reconcile. Whatever the difference. They not do anything to Bwaka. Bwaka got vexed with Ellen for not giving him presidency. Then now we have responsibility in our whatever the misunderstanding here, Ellen had. You have to avoid transfer aggression, because that transfer aggression he's using on we are today. Ellen manipulated the election. That means she did things to make sure Weah was already popular. In fact, I don't think Ellen did anything extra. No, people are just blaming Ellen. You can only manipulate election for a person who isn't popular, and you want the person to win it at all costs. But Ellen did nothing. Weah is a household name. He has been a household name from the one. Weah commands 80 to 85% of the citizenry of this country. So Ellen did nothing. Ellen did not take the election. She did not go to the national election commission and say, no, the election here, you're getting Weah. No. Everybody went to the ballot box. Everybody, Weah campaign, Bwaka campaign, United Party people, they were all over the place. It was a contestation. Ellen did not take the presidency by decree that as queen, she handed it over to Weah to reign. It wasn't a dynasty. Come on. So you can hold that against George Weah. So if you reach the point, if you think that unification is time for the country to unite, then the president needs to do just as Snow did. That is why we're waiting. If it wasn't a lip service, we will see it. We're waiting. To say it is one thing, doing it is convincing. Saying it is one thing, doing it is convincing. When you say something, God in heaven, you go there, you're asking, he will tell you what's St. Andrew saying that true. That is the standard I said. When you say something, God can accept it. But he will not take it at 100% true until he sees you doing it. That's the only way. So Bwaka said he's placed goodwill telephone call. So we're waiting to see the practical aspect of it, just as Edwin Snow did. What's the last thing? Then we can open the line and then we talk something about our life. And then we are out. It's 10,000. Oh, it's 10,000 people. I don't know how to say this thing. It's 10,000. That star 790 and star 24 hash play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US, and you have your 10,000, and you can make your goodwill telephone call to any place that you do your entertainment. You can go to Exodus Bar. No, get the park now. How they call the other one on which street is that? Which street is that? Where they have the street behind Central Bank. There's this entertainment center they have there. In the car going, you see the street cover. It's flooded with tables, human beings. What they want, those very entertainment centers. So you can just get to any one of those entertainment centers, and then you put in your goodwill telephone call to the bartender or bring your drink. But when you get money, that ain't all. All right, let me talk James Colleg. James Colleg hit. Representative James Colleg hit for Speaker Fonati Kofa. Former Speaker resigned. Coerce, pressure. Fonati Kofa. Then we get to you. Yesterday, the communication of the resign, coerce, pressure, intimidated, harassed Speaker Fonati Kofa was read on the floor, asking his colleagues for 2 months leave. 1, medical leave, meaning he's not feeling well. and that is in twofold: medically, psychological, and biological. 2, that he will need time to sit with his people of Grand Crew County to explain to them everything that happened, how it happened, and who takes the blame, or he takes the blame, to just give them that respect and hear what they have to say to him. Then beyond that, he will know what to do. Whether he will stay on as Grand Crew County representative, or he will leave the legislature to focus on different things about his life. So when the communication was read, as it is the custom of parliamentary proceeding, it was to the parliamentarians to give their input. James Collier, who led the team of burglars to burglarize the resigned, pressure, intimidated, harassed, coerced Speaker Fonati Kofa, objected to that. He argued that their rule did not call for such. And based on that, Fonati Kofa request should not be granted. The leave request, the medical leave request should not be granted. Even if he's sick badly, there are hospitals here, he can go and be coming to session. So he said it was against the rule. Because he is the chairman on rules, order, and administration. So he raised the concern, and he argued that Fonati Kofa request violated Rule 21 of the House of Representatives. That's what he shared. Please share the show wherever you are. Please share it and share as many times. I told you there are certain things I'm not going to say because we know where we are. When we come, when Abi tell you something, do it. When tell you something, do it. When Israel tell you something, do it. We are in a warfare. We know what the people planning. You don't know. When we tell you something, please do share the show. Let everybody around the world know what is happening. They are planning, but their own planning people are leaking out information. They're planning to get at us. They're planning to silence. I know. We're telling you, you don't want to. It's not just coming on the show to be excited. We're giving you hint. We're telling you, help us too. Share the show. Share it as many times as you can, wherever you are in Liberia and around the world. So he said, Rule 21, Fonati Kofa request is in violation of Rule 21. Rule 21, that the request the former speaker request should not be accepted plenary, or the body should not accept it at all. Representative Dixon Sibo came in to counter James Collier on that same Rule 21, why Fonati Kofa, a plenary or the body should give him the right. James Collier quoted the rule, but you know how he did it? He did it in a corny manner. A corny manner. You know the rule, but because you don't want that person to have the right, so you will quote it in a way that the people who know, they will just sit down there and say, right. So that's what he did. Now, the guys there are guys there who are highly educated. Don't see all of those people down there. Oh, most of the people down there, they are mumu. They are mentally empty. I don't even want to go to the women. No disrespect to you, but we see it. So, Jackson Sibo, Representative Jackson Sibo, came out and said, no, James Collier, you are misquoting the Rule 21. You're reading Rule 21 upside down. I can sense your deception. However, may I state to you, this is what Rule 21 said. No House member may be absent for more than 2 weeks without formal approval from the House leadership. If a member exceeds this time frame without consent, it can lead to sanctions, including the potential declaration of their seat as vacant. He went further to say that absences without formal approval and Doss Kofa request was in line with the provision because he is seeking approval. In essence, Representative Dixon Sibo counter was, if Kofa just leave, 1 week they can see him in session, 2 weeks they can see him in session, nobody grant him the approval, then Rule 21 can take effect. But in this case, he has presented a formal communication seeking the approval of plenary to give him time, specifically 2 months, to work out medical details and constituency visit. So how then you now, James Collier, you will say that the man is in violation when the very Rule 21 say let it be by approval and the man is seeking approval? You see why that house is Rachel Coon? Take that. Everybody will see Rachel Coon in aptitude and nakedness because his own men and now they will start exposing him by their own ineptitude. And I like the move by the Rule of Law Caucus. Everybody goes back. Fona Tikofa is no longer the speaker. Rachel Coon is the speaker. That's what he wanted. So he's there now. The works starts. Now, here's how it ended. Rachel Coon, out of shame, guilt, pretending to sound reconciliatory and conciliatory, he granted the speaker 2 months leave. He just did it out of and he pretending to be a reconciler. So he granted the speaker, the coerce, the intimidated, the harass, the pressure, the threatening, resign Speaker Fona Tikofa. That's it. Keep playing the King's Cash giveaway. Let's take your calls. We can turn to you now. 30 minutes? Yeah, 30 minutes. Don't worry. 30 minutes for you. The other one, use it for closing. So that's it. LEC announced power outage. You've already started experiencing it. Prince Heenan said in Bannersville Estate, a current left 5:30 this morning. It hasn't returned. According to Front Page Africa, SACOM might be shut down soon. They are in court with DSTV. Edwin Snow demonstrated what unification is by moving to Joseph Yeman Boakai to wish him well and then discuss key issues, what he should have done, even though he said he plays good with telephone calls to former presidents. We are ailing politicians, Benin Ayure, Alexander Cummings, institutions, the Liberia Council of Churches, the National Muslim Council. Yes, so those are the three, 4 pointers. So let's turn to you now. You can have your say on 0772 23 99 33 and 0886 44 97 0777 980 375. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon, sir. What is your name and where you call from?
Pastor Emmanuel Cooper, I call from Bannersville precisely. Firstly, I want to thank you. I want to greatly encourage you to continue what you're doing in terms of your brilliant analysis. And one thing that I observed over the months about you guys and Kings and Freedom, you guys speak godly. You guys speak peace. You guys speak unity. But unlike the people who are in power, who who's supposed to bear greater responsibility for a better Liberia or governance system, they are speaking negative and they are acting arrogant. We ministers of the gospel, spiritual people of this nation, we need to speak the truth. God make man, but no man is another man's slave. So we have to be bold enough. Pastors, ministers, we don't live on government salary. We live by divine provision, by the grace of God. So we need to stand out, because what is going on, like you brilliantly analyzed about the president, who is a Baptist deacon, should be well known to himself that the Bible that you hold as a deacon is a constitution of the church. And you, as a product of the church, you should uphold peace. Because the Bible says in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 14, follow peace with all men and be holy, without which no one will see God. So the peace is the bedrock of any society.
All right, Pastor.
Meeting former president, calling them on phone is not enough. Unification Day was a day set aside as national holiday for people to come together and settle out their differences. There was no official program held. And you're talking on telephone.
But you ministers of the gospel have too not been preaching anything unification in your respective churches.
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe I'll be sending my sermons to one of the radio stations very soon, because I preach the justice. What Bible says, righteousness and justice is the foundation of God's throne. And we must say it truth to power. Romans 13 from God is government. And government got to be fair, government got to be earnest, and government got to be peaceful. You should bear greater responsibility of the peace of the people of the country, because if you can't rule in peace, then who are you going to rule? So for me, I think I have to be doing something to send some of my sermon on the radio station.
Thank you.
We preach exactly what God wants us to do. And for me, we have a different mindset for Liberia, because God has shown this country progress and prosperity to me.
All right.
We
Thank you,
saw
Pastor.
that Liberia will prosper. So we need to be peaceful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. God bless you.
Amen. Let's get to the women's line. Hello. Hello. You are on. Huh?
I'm calling from Township West Point.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I Chinkola Benewa talking. Chinkola no rule a law. They want no rule of law. All the time they make damage our money, and I won't get left on yesterday. Left go like Jenna will see calling our phone and
Where you living?
I live in West Point, Township West Point.
But West Point current can go down there.
Like Jenna calling can say.
What time current go?
That's 4:30.
4:30 this morning.
Yeah.
So your thing will stay there in the morning?
No, they be here. You might by 8 o'clock they will carry.
But the LEC may say people got current 24 hours now. Current when I go.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Yes. Yes. This is seriously done at a call from Bahasa.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah. Good afternoon. But good afternoon to the end of your call, because this is the women's line. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Let's hear you. Speak louder, sir.
Yes, concerning the presidency speech to the former pastor, it's so laughable.
Chief, I don't know why you in a hole. You in a place. You sounding hollow.
In a close situation, man.
Yeah, you in an open place, so you sounding hollow.
You getting me? You getting me?
Yeah, yeah. Speak. Speak.
Yes, you know, when the Independent Council of Churches made a statement, said, Joe Parker, when he got to the time, Joe Parker decided to hear because in year was June 17 that is coming or that is speaking of her. So you want to play or trick that everybody will focus on a particular topic, that everybody's attention will be on it and just focus on the main issue. And I believe the main issue here is our first lady has not been seen. That is the first thing. Our main issue here is how well are we ready to see our president taking part into the children what they are doing. You see that?
Thank you,
so
sir.
That is the escape line here, escape because we want to focus on, not to talk on the real issue.
Thank you, sir. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm fine. Thank God.
Okay. This is Madeline calling from Christian Church. Mr. Andrew, I want to talk to Papa. I listen to Papa.
Wait, hold on. You said where you living?
I live in Christianville.
Oh, Cruiserville. Oh, okay. Cruiserville?
Christian.
Crystalville.
Yeah.
Where you get at Crystalville?
It's 17.
All right. Y'all got Corin down there? So, I mean, I ask you anything for the talk. Now.
Yes, my brother.
Hey, Toy, you want it? I no more. Oh. Hello.
Yes. You have the money,
yes. Let's hear you. What is your name? Johnsonville? Johnsonville?
Yeah.
You get Corin there?
Don't call me, not coming around 4.
But besides the money, hey, you been having Corin?
Yeah, no. Yesterday when I came, 2 hours ago,
but it not sort of be like that because the LEC boss say Corin will not go. It will be on 24/7. Okay, let's hear you.
Okay, with education, you can now move for power. You know, the thing one brother left the line say, oh, they put out the president will follow. Then they put you have something, I make it speaking. You want to go get job, yeah. You pay for the job, you're not answering. In here, you don't have job worker for you have something. The bishop that is getting money that we're telling the book, are you quiet? You're not happy. Dr. Brown is not happy. Bishop Reed is not happy. July 17. I said, a poor power body to lay down. For the thousand of library to die. So, because we sell record to kill the different power. We will run the pit.
No, nobody. We want that one. Nobody with that.
Hello, Sam.
Nobody can stop June 17 protest. That constitutional right. Hello.
Yes, are you?
Yeah, man. Let's hear you. What is your name and what you call?
Yeah, PHP. We are calling for the PHP community.
PHP community. I play that part current on 24/7.
Well, me my calling on 24/7.
To the pen and Beatrice. Then you say, "Well, current."
Yes, but I'm telling you, they came calling here.
So current.
I don't telling you.
So current.
This morning calling when we get calling here. But for the issue. Yes, Sam, you know what happened, you see? You know I stopped calling on a show a few days because I felt too bad for the restoration of Patikopa. I never expected Patikopa to do so. So I was growing and weak to do that people a friend. Yeah, don't put they are too ungrateful, including my own brother. All of them are ungrateful, they are deceitful people. So therefore, the men want to seek medical attention because to attend the men, nobody should approve the men. What them will be ungrateful at that. For July 7 protest, they will get to know Liberia. Thank you for having me.
You will be part of that protest? Huh? Oh, she going off. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I getting
Hello?
you. I getting you, ma'am. Call your name. Where you calling from?
I'm Patricia Super from Douala Market.
From Douala?
Yeah, Douala Market.
Yeah. Oh, but Douala Market, I play by current there. Eh?
Yeah.
Current?
No, we don't have current. Where?
Why you saying?
Current go Wednesday morning.
Ah.
Wednesday morning.
So okay, what time you can get current?
Anytime when it come with you, when it come, when now you say deep down.
But
And you are laughing at that.
no, but you say when you come,
Yeah, but when it come, you.
But the LEC boss say the LEC boss say 24/7 current will be on. Current will not go. The problem that we're experiencing, we're not experiencing it again.
More than before because it was. I just a few days they were putting on for.
All right, let's hear you.
Same as you.
Yeah.
Let Bagon be Bagon. Why for CISA, let's be going to CISA. We will wait for 2029 to have our president. Let we just be patient. And we know he will come back.
Yeah, so
because the people got nothing to offer us.
But what you trying to say now when you say let Bagon be Bagon?
I mean, when I say let Bagon be Bagon, we're talking about our president. What our president used to do, he always doing it. Then they say our president can do it. So let we just leave them, wait till our president come. And our president will come. He will come.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, man. Have a nice weekend. Hello? Yeah, the men your way I will get to you. Let me deal with the women. Let me give them the full right to get their voices heard. Hello? Yeah. Your line cracking or that the weather? Yeah, Mamusu, you calling from Omega, eh? Yeah, no, the current can go power. Omega power, current can go down there. Oh, current Wednesday morning. Yeah, but it there now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
My issue, Andrew, I'm just advancing the exhibition. Let us be together and be able.
Yeah, Mamuzu, your line cracking. You got to change your location. Yeah, I understand that the weather. That's not your phone. That the weather. Yeah. Okay, amen. Yeah, that the weather bad. Yeah. All right, let's get to the men, and then we'll come back to the women. We'll take a few calls, and then we off and go to something else. Let's take this last one. Hello.
Yeah, this person, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Rose Dotto calling from Front Street.
Road Dotto.
Yes.
You're in Front Street, on Front Street, Central Morovia.
Yes.
You can tell me now you get current because at Central Morovia that is city.
No current here.
In a city, then you not get current. Dotto, man. Rosie Road, man. Don't tell people that timber.
They carry the current last night by 3. And they brought it, they carried last night by 11. They brought it around 3 something this morning. And by 12, they carry a president. Now there is no current in Central Morovia.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you're hoping that it will come to now, so at least you'll sleep on a current.
Yeah, I wonder our defense prayer because the night is stronger than the day. All the evil people can pass around. All the evil.
Baba, man, I can pass right in there.
Yeah.
Let's hear you, Mama. Yeah, let's hear you on the other side.
Yeah. My topic based on James Cole. Let them try and leave fanatic profile alone. They shouldn't kill him. Let them leave him alone. What they wanted, they have already gotten it. When he's not well in the body and he talk to them, let them give him chance. Let him go and take his treatment. Let them stay trying to put pressure on him for what? And my second topic is
That's why you did not talk about it. But yesterday I was trying to get you. They from Nokai. Whosoever that she gave money to, she shouldn't be afraid. Call every one of them name. Because from the beginning, we told our people that these people were a bunch of criminals. The only thing we rape to rape Liberia, which they never believe us. People are suffering out here and they don't have anything to say to the Liberian people. Let them stop what they're doing. This country belongs to every one of us. I don't think that there are certain group of people supposed to enjoy the wealth of this country. Let them stop what they're doing. You can push a hungry man against the wall. Let them stop. We don't want to think or remember what happened in the past. Let them stop. The suffering is getting too much.
All right.
Thank you for your show.
Thank you too for calling. Have a nice weekend. Let's go to the men's line. Hello.
Hello, Sam Andrew.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Franklin G. Meyer calling you from the city of Howard.
Let's hear you, Franklin.
Let me tell you some that clever game and Snow when to go play say that reconciliation. That clear they go plan to invite George to tell Puaka to go visit Georgia. We already know the story, it will not work. 1. 2 have to do with the June 7 protest and a team. Come on, mistake. Are happy between Mana Zege and the Nigerian Ecomo in Clay. We'll repeat it, we'll stay around. And we're going to be prepared to leave from Ramos Post City. We'll ride on a pickup. We'll get down to clear the social. We're going to march and come for that protest and attend. Come on, made mistake. Get to the students. Come on, and his family will forever regret. In Jean Cola, let me tell you something. Jean Cola don't know law. Need it very clear. It was mistake. You know, sometimes they say the parents student. I'm very sorry for the statement. They made mistake by electing that man called Jean Cola, and Jean Cola will know the law making. Thank you.
Thank you too. Have a nice weekend. Hello.
Thank you, Sam. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you call from?
Thank you, Sam. I call from Central Town. This is Hussein. I'm Hussein Chew. I listen to the different talking points, and I want to begin by saying thank you to Speaker Richard Nangbekun for granting Ponati Kopa a 2-month leave. When you start to see leaders, behaving or acting in that form and manner, it clearly tells you that there are room for reconciliation. And that was excellent on his part to have accepted the letter from Ponati and granting him a 2-month leave. So we, the followers, should understand that those leaders will have political differences, but they can still reconcile. And I think that entire thing is about reconciliation and trying to settle things and what happened in the past. I listened to somebody say, come on, President, we are coming. I don't know where he's coming. And I just want to state this for the record. The party I'm not going to take here in leadership.
It is the person's opinion. Thank you. You stated yours. It is the person's opinion. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, my name is Timothy James, the Victoria MP, and I call you from District 12.
Let's hear you, Tim.
Yeah, I just want to ask the president what is he doing about the U.S. rate. And I want to say this, and I also want to ask, what if America and Liberia using the same currency? The U.S. will go up, some other can see where found it difficult to get our daily bread, we're renting. You go, landlord and land won't go 6 months, they want 1 year. Brenda calculate the rate and calculate 180 US. You go to land won't go 6 months, they want 180. So what are they doing about the rate? And what are they doing about the disabled? Because disabled people, they say we are impossible, the 99 class. But today they go all around the big news, the government giving you a job. And I asked that, I said, but name me 5 or 10 disabled that working in another ministry and agency, and they can't tell me. So what is the president doing about that? Because he's affecting some of us. You even go buy in the store, they don't hold the country money. You carry like $1, it have $5, so it'll be $1,000. It will tell you $1,050. Well, I think that for. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. I empathize and sympathize with your condition. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yes.
I'm the Kanan Show. Yeah, well, this is Mohammed Dongo Fafana Jr. I tell you guys from the Samara job area. Well, my point here basically is about that guy who opposed the speaker letter.
James
I
Colette,
don't know.
Representative James
Yeah,
Colette.
James Correa. Yeah, James Correa. I don't know James Correa. I don't know if he have a brain problem. I don't know if he have a brain problem because this guy he went to the speaker office and go to the speaker office. I don't really have a different thing on his mouth as being a speaker. But Richard Cool allowing the speaker going for 2 months. It doesn't mean that he knows about leadership or you want to reconcile. That man is for leader and hello?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You went off. Thank you. You did extremely well. I appreciate all of you. It is not considered a reconciliation. It is not considered a reconciliation. Hussein got that wrong, but we can understand he is a partisan of Unity Party. Interestingly, he does not know, no disrespect to you, Hussein, but you do not know the content and context of reconciliation. That wasn't reconciliation. If you want to talk about reconciliation, you should look in the face of your installed speaker with a stigma that everything that was happening from the onset, you didn't show any remorse whatsoever. You were concerned with your protection from the master and paraded yourself as speaker when you weren't a speaker. Reconciliation is acknowledging a difference or something that isn't right or that flare up between two persons, and then they try to forge a reconciliation. So one person will take the lead. Two persons cannot start reconciliation. One person starts, and reconciliation starts with the person who ought to reconcile, and he takes the lead. And if I do not know your Quran, even though I have a couple of them, but I have not really gone in depth with the reconciliation, unification aspect as I would do with the Bible. But assume there is a line there on reconciliation. I think it will tell you the same thing I am saying. Fonati was humiliated, he was harassed, he was intimidated, he was cursed, he was cornered, he was threatened, and finally he resigned. Rachel Kun granting him his request was not Rachel Kun as a person. That is not reconciliation. The body granted. That was a unanimous approval. It wasn't Rachel Kun. He did not write a communication to Rachel Kun. You put the communication, you write the communication to plenary. Plenary is the highest decision-making body. That means the decision is taken by consensus or unanimous vote. So he did not have problem with Rachel Kun. He and Rachel Kun was not at anything. They weren't in any warfare that you say Rachel Kun is a sign of reconciliation. No, come on. You don't do that. You're help your Unity Party people. You people are educated. You use your education. You don't use your education to show how depleted Unity Party is. Thank you all. Keep playing the King's Cash giveaway. That star 79 and star 24 hatch. Play with $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US. It's the weekend, it's a weekend. You tell your 10K. We buy here and not easy. We get by. You're getting 10K. I'm waiting for my boss man to car So I will just sponsor it for you on the weekend. Here you see why you're getting 10K. Over weekend that. Yeah, man. That star 79 and star 24 hatch. And then you take your 10K, 10K. That's more matter. Ha! In our country, this economy, on a Nebuchadnezzar, you miss out on 10K. Well, then I ate out. The men are going into the weekend. They get their 10,000, the 15,000, the 20,000 US. The people, they buying one shawarma. Hey, you know shawarma? They how they call it that? They call that bread in here. I use all the thing, you know. I get it so several Latin, but the men are buying it for 50 US. Why? To just get 250 for tobacco, it's difficult. The people that you can be screaming, you'll be killing yourself for, you going against your brother and sister for them. Hussein can go to any Unity Party person, say, I get this problem and it costs 350 US, I will need your help. They will not do it. Even if the man get 1,000 US in a draw, that man would rather tell Hussein Kyawu that, you know, my man, we agree, you're supporting the cause, you're really doing well for us. We can listen to y'all, and your cause really making impact, you know. But man, I like to you, it's shit. And not easy. Things not really working. You know, the way the country looking now, everything tell you know that thing that happened to the house, it affected the gun, all that thing that the skin. Remember, that man will have it, but he would prefer if when Hussein Kyawu leaves that office with a problem, and a woman goes into the office and say, I had this, that man prefer to take, even if he gave the lady 350, but he would prefer to take 200 from that United States dollars in his drawer and give it to that lady. That is why you see the women there. Thank God for the CDC women and they're struggling. Using their own money, they take their telephone, they're calling. United Party women there, the people know what's up. That's why they don't even bother to do it, because they're not reaping the fruit. One say, no, they're reaping. But yeah, he said they don't take telephone to call her Hussein and they be screaming. They know that when they get ready, they will just go and say so and so this and that. That man will take 150 US. You will take 200 US. So they don't even bother. They say let the men be calling. And that the people who know Bo, let them be calling. Why the CDC woman and the CDC ladies, the CDC young girls, they take their phone, they put their $1 inside, they call. They made a point. One day, God will see them through. But you know the Party women, they not get that. They say when Hussein call on all the radio stations when they finish, we're just going in our office. Say, I want to see so and so. And then you know I get a problem, this and that. From their smile on the face, they hold the draw. Take off 150 or 200. They give it. And finish. So you'll be wasting your time. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they extremely well at the weekend. Yeah. The weekend. So where do we go? How do we go home? My guys, I arrived. Yeah, let's take a break. Let's take this break with the weekend guys. They always want to be on the show. Yeah, because they are so busy. So they come on the weekend. Great guys. I like these guys very well. Yeah, let's take a break with their boss. Let's do a good way telephone call to the boss. He's willing to hear us out this break.
It is appalling. That is the reason I've been in a compendious, laconic lacuna, not a recapitulation. But let me tell you this.
And everything the boss is saying, that's what you see in Liberia. That's Liberia he presenting so. Everything, you're listening to him carefully. Everything he's saying, that Liberia, that's Liberia atmosphere, Liberian politicians, he presenting to us so. The Liberian politicians. That's why you see everything. You see the atmosphere.
It is appalling. That is the reason I've been in a compendious, laconic lacuna, not a recapitulation. But let me tell you this, that it is Leka and pulchritudinous, that in a legotla, in an imbizo, flagitious, and enervating lematas, were excogitatedly ruminate how the recidivistical politicos move from budget disappearance to budget doctoration.
That the budget in the day at that legislature there, now rushing,
exasperating thing with the financial lobotomization. But I pray that this will not ignite a clamorous remonstration.
Oh, but that what we have now, it has ignited clamorous remonstration
of their obstreperous and vociferous modus vivendi. Enough of this vilification and solipsism. This is execrably pugnacious, pestilential, and attenuating. Imagine the imbibition of the political rodomontates, which has kept us in an abject ululation. Why?
Why? Why? Yes, that's why. Oh my God, man. the man winging his eye to me, he said, I'm finished yet.
This is sardonic.
Exactly.
Opprobrious.
Exactly.
Contumelious. Erroneous.
There where we are. That job worker atmosphere the best explaining so. This is sardonic. We just can't understand why what is happening. Oh my God. Oh my people, you distress yourself, man. You're not getting Bwaka LRB politics worrying you all day.
This is sardonic.
Yes.
Opprobrious.
Yes.
Malevolent. Contumelious. Erroneous. Lugubrious and exasperating. What a political balloon.
Exactly.
What
that is
a political ballyhoo. What a political bunkum. Balderdash and hogwash. At this point, I will borrow the words of the great sesquipedalian logomanian that it is crystal clear, like the biblical meneteke you've seen, that this administration has no blueprint on socio-economic matters.
Exactly. This administration, this identical Bwaka administration has no blueprint on anything social matters. That's true. No blueprint. And he said everything going upside down. Everybody doing their own thing. Here you go. My chief, please say hey again, man, because the people he believe. Say
has no blueprint on socio-economic. It's clear, like the biblical meneteke you've seen, that this administration has no blueprint on socio-economic matters. Meneteke you've seen, that this administration has no blueprint on socio-economic matters. But I will advise you to tell Mr. President.
Yes.
But I will advise you to tell Mr. President.
And Mr. President, Mr. President, you hearing it? They better tell you to advise Mr. President, to advise Bwaka.
Has no blueprint on socio-economic matters. But I will advise you to tell Mr. President. But I will advise you to tell Mr. President. But I will advise you to tell Mr. President that following his antecedent and pedigree, we know him. He can do better. Tell him to do better. But at this point, we will not control
in a pogo. We know Bwaka, you say you will build this country. And now the thing you can be carrying all around, and now what you can say, so that you can do better. So we expect you to do better. But in the meantime, we will not control in your shenanigans, we will not control in your tricks, in your lies, in your deception. We will not control in your power. My God. They may still want to come out and avoid the bear, but he's still holding me. Okay, Kana.
It is appalling. That is the reason I've been in a compendious laconic lacuna, not a recapitulation. But let me tell you this.
The man is mad with Bwaka atmosphere. You see the words you see on Bwaka atmosphere.
It is appalling. That is the reason I've been in a compendious laconic lacuna, not a recapitulation. But let me tell you this, that it is leca and pulchritudinous, that in a legotla, in an imbizo, flagitious and enervating matters, we excogitatedly ruminate how the recidivistical politicals move from budget disappearance to budget doctoration. Now we are faced with a debilitating, exasperating thing with a financial lobotomization. But I pray that this will not ignite a clamorous remonstration. Now, come to think of it, how dare they deplete the citizens of their obstreperous and vociferous modus vivendi? Enough of this vilification and solipsism. This is execrably pugnacious, pestilential, and attenuating. Imagine the imbibition of the political rodomontates, which has kept us in an abject ululation. Why?
Why? Tell Bwaga, tell why? Answer our question, Bwaga. Why?
This is sardonic, opprobrious, malevolent, contumelious. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. What an opprobrium, what an odium, what an ignominious memento. That even at the barbituration of the so much acclimatized by a scrupulous, fastidious, puritanical, boisterous, energetic, and a rooting to thin, but today for party affiliation, sentiments, for political somnambulism and malocclusion, he has chosen to remain close-mouthed, reticent, taciturn, uncommunicative. He has chosen to remain
That is exactly what most of them are. They chose to remain close-mouthed, reticence. Reticent is all of these words you hear the men using. They are not imaginary words. They are not self-creation. Self-creation words are words that you create by your innovation, your literacy. These are words that you find in the dictionary. Reticent is an expression of a person who is muted, who sees no, but the person just refused to speak. Yeah, it's the same as close-mouthed. You can be in a place, you're discussing, and then the person just observing and say, but Sam Andrews, you are reticent. What happened? Meaning Sam Andrews is not speaking. He closed mouth. He chose intentionally not to say anything at all. He remains speechless for whatever the reason. In this political context in which he's using it, the guys, the same thing you see. Bwaga people know, some of the people, they know that what is happening in the government, by the government, of the government, 100% wrong. But because they want to preserve certain things, they don't want to lose their job, or when they thought something might happen to them, either they are suspended perpetually, so they choose to be reticent, muted, close-mouthed, no talking. Just leave it and let it flow. So life moves on.
For political somnambulism and malocclusion, he has chosen to remain close-mouthed, reticent, taciturn, uncommunicative, and unforthcoming. Meaning he has kowtowed in their poll.
Exactly. You give in, you buy into the deception, the lies, and everything because you want money. Whatever the government say, you support it. But you know that what the government is doing is wrong. You know what the president said is not true. The president lied that he placed a telephone call, goodwill telephone call to we are and the other people, and you know that it wasn't the right way to do, but because he is, or you support him, he is your man, you share his sentiment. So what happened? You buy into it. Means you kowtow. You kowtow. That means you give into it, but you know consciously that it's not right, but because you are profiting from it, so you give in. That's what it means. That's what the expression means. If you look in the dictionary, you see all of these words. They are not self-creation. No. If you're not giving into what a person wants you to do, or what an institution wants you to get involved in, or any plan that you know it is not right, but they want you to get involved for whatever the reason, and you refuse to be a part of it, you have refused to kowtow in their power. Kowtow is to give in, to lean towards, to support.
That is what you get When the hobo pejoratively hobnobs with the hobgoblin have been bamboozled, razzle-dazzled, razzmatazz politically, where I said he was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is a way of saying the president was fantastic. But his political enemies said he was suffering from what I describe as new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. It's a word that is supposed to be called silicosis, meaning a lung disease. But in search for the longest word in the dictionary, they pep it up to become a 45-letter word, which is new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis, meaning he has kowtowed in their pool.
Yes. Care. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So he takes his weekend break, just as we'll do, and if God permits, he's back on next week, Friday. He's here with me every Friday because of his tight schedule. And that is okay with me. Thank you all. Continue playing as we gradually wind down. Dial star 79 and star 24 hatch, play with it with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US. Yes, that's it. $200, $1.50 US. And then tell you we and 10K. You tell that 10K, you can send me one bottle of surgery, no problem. But tell your 10K. Tell your 10K. If you can take it under that star 79 and star 100, that's 24 hash, play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US. And then the weekend balling, the weekend. I'm into my small zip, Coca-Cola zip. All right. So this is how we go home, people. From Monday to Friday, stick this in your mind. They said too much work, which means hard work, makes Jack a dull boy. In my introduction, I said it doesn't make Jack a dull boy. That statement has to be revisited. It doesn't make Jack a dull boy. Rather, it leads Jack into stress. It leads Jack to finding himself on the hospital bed. It leads Jack, if luck isn't on his side, to the funeral home. You want to go into the weekend with a layout itinerary, well organized one, to give yourself sufficient rest. A good rest, and it is relative. Rest is relative by your understanding. But I can say to you, rest is just cessation from anything that would not cause elasticity for you. You can take up time to sleep for long hours, just resting oneself in your house by sitting quietly, observing, have a drink, depending on your preference, soft drink, a beer or wine or Gordon or whiskey, but you're just not stressing up the body with any work. You will also want to engage into exercising. Rest isn't just sufficient for the body. Exercising is also essential, because when you have piled up all of the things during the week, you're getting different things in the body, you're moving here and there, the different kinds of food you put in the body. Also, you want to burn out the calorie. And that is done by exercising. exercising keeps you going long. It is very essential. Don't overlook exercising. Well, I often reference the Bible. I do not know whether there is a line there for exercising, but I want to believe, because the Bible is a summary of our existence on earth. You may not see the word as it is spelled in the Bible, Exercise, but you see the idea implied. Just like you see Jesus telling his disciples in Mark, he said, you being incessant workers or workaholic workers, I can realize that you are approaching your elasticity. And if I continue to get you people working, you might fall down, faint, or die. So what I can advise is, come on, you stop work. You stop working. You go your way, go into desert place and rest. And you will see the word rest, which means cease from doing anything. Cease from work and just relax yourself so that the body can reconfigure it. Every day we use the body, talking, walking up and down, moving from one end to another, in car, walking by line, answering telephone call, climbing steps, coming down. All of those things you're doing, you are stressing the body. It is just like take elastic and just do a simple experimentation or demonstration. You take that elastic, you stretch it the first time, it goes back. You stretch it the second time, it goes back. You stretch it the third time, it goes back. You stretch it the fourth time, you'll see that going back, some of the fervency or vibrancy or effectiveness will start dropping. It wouldn't go at the length it went the first 2, 3, 4, 5 times. When you stretch it again, it would not be the same. What you will start experiencing is weak, or you see the slightness, what we can say weak. When you stretch it again, it will not go the length. It wouldn't be the way it was from the first, second, third pull. This 7, 8 times, it will not go back to its normal. It will remain that way. That is how the body is. When you overstress the body, you overuse the body, you can rest. When you're feeling, you just feel within yourself, so I'm just feeling weak, my eye turning, I'm tired. Not that you didn't eat, not that you don't have food in your system, not that you didn't drink, but you overuse the body to the extent that it has reached its elasticity. So what needs to happen is you have to rest. That is why when they observe it, they carry you to a hospital. Yeah, the doctor, after the doctor finished doing the examination, said, no, nothing wrong. He doesn't have a major problem. He just needs rest. She just needs rest. In essence, the doctor is saying this person overused his or her body. And now we're just stabilizing, meaning we're putting the system back. It reached its elasticity. So what we're doing is to reconfigure. So let the person rest, sleep for a while, the next 2-3 hours. Yeah. Besides that, when you give yourself, you walk and walk and walk and walk and walk and walk and walk, and you just went to bed, you sleep long. And when the person wakes up, what do you hear? You hear this expression from the person. He said, I'm just feeling light in the body. Oh. Say, I'm just feeling light. Man, yeah. The person said, I'm just feeling light. What the person is saying, though the person do not know, but the person is simply saying that the body has reconfigured, everything gone back into its normal state. And now vibrancy sets in. Simple. What am I saying by this? Is simply give yourself rest. At the weekend, people can say, oh, jolly, 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 jolly. Time to be to enjoy ourselves. From Monday to Friday, we've been working. Yes, you can do that. But I am saying rest. Take a rest. Take exercise. Eat the appropriate diet. Dieting is very, very key, very essential to giving you long life. Nobody, God does not want anybody to die just at any age. God wants everybody. He gives that blessing. But how you take care of your body, you will live long. Remember now, he said a timeline. But what happened? He said that timeline is not definitive. I set the timeline, but it is not definitive. It is not cast in stones. Look at it. He said, by reason of strength. That's spiritual strength, physical strength. And physical strength comes from how you take care of yourself. He said, by reason of strength, you can go beyond the 70. And in most regional and European countries, people live beyond the expectant age. They live beyond the life expectancy by the exercise, the kind of food, the rest they give themselves. And so in Liberia, the person is wondering, when you hear that this person, so the lady is 90 years old, and that person is thinking, how will I ever reach 90? So the person, this person is, or he's 110. You'll be thinking that way. And you'll think that God in heaven blessed that person to reach that age, and God didn't. No, God placed his blessing, his protection, his grace, his favor on everybody to live long. But it is dependent on you, how you take care of the body. That is why you don't try to prove a point. No, if you attempt to prove a point, you want to be more workaholic than Jesus Christ was. You will go under the ground. You'll find yourself, some people laying down in JFK, in Redemption, in Catholic, because of this thing I'm telling you. Doctor treating them. Doctor say, oh, let the person rest. By the time he comes through, we'll give him XYZ tablet and you can go home. You hear doctors advising people say, when you go home, let him sleep enough. You have him make sure he sleep nothing major. He just overused the body. She just overused the body. Simple. It is very essential. It's very important. Otherwise than that, God in Jesus Christ, the man was very careful with his health. Even God who created all of us, what did the Bible say? It said he rested. He rested. Creation. Let us not just see it that way. You think that your simple thing, you just can't say that. But to create is difficult. So if the Bible says he rested, then it means that God had a difficult task. Because to create, it's not easy. It's not anything that you can it just happen automatically. So if God rested from his work to continue, and then he passed that simple advice on to us, and he also showed it through his son Jesus Christ. Jesus was an alcoholic, a workaholic person, but Jesus was concerned about his health. He rested, he slept. Yeah, just look at all of the verses on Jesus. You will see these things I'm telling you. At one point in time, Jesus forgot about eating. He was walking so much so that he forgot to eat, or he just didn't want to eat. And his disciples came to him and said, but Chivo, we agree, we're working with you. You are our boss. Yeah, the work we're doing is energy losing. We're losing energy. And we have found food to eat. We have eaten. But master, why are you not eating? Then within themselves, they started to wonder that you think he ate, or somebody brought food to him that he ate before we came that he doesn't want to eat? What do we find is in John? Yeah, John, Matthew. So, then he answered and he said his food is to do his father's work. But they were concerned about his health. And he, Jesus too, was concerned because he went and rested. He took off time. Even though he did not stay long on the earth, but the short time Jesus stayed on the earth, he was equally concerned. He was both God and man, both spirit and human, and he did not lose sight of his humanity. That's why he was able to accomplish his mission in time and on time. And he instructed his disciples, he said, y'all go rest. You've been with me all day. You've been working all day long. Yeah, you see, in the office, some bosses, they are very keen. They look at certain employee just working, doing a very good, faithful, and say, Cynthia, take a day off. And here is $20. Just go rest. Not that Cynthia isn't doing anything, but the boss, by his observation, see how Cynthia is faithful, how she's committed, how she turned herself into an incessant worker. And because the boss does not want Cynthia to fall off on the job, he comes in a way psychologically that Cynthia will not know why he's doing it, but just say, you're good and this and that, I want you to take a rest. Yes, $20. So go home, rest, and come to work the following day. Simple. We do it all around. We are seeing it. We read it in books. We've seen it practically all over the place. So you want to give yourself. Another thing you want to guide against. Listen, you walk throughout the week. Those of you who drink alcohol, I know that it is the normal in Liberia, but listen, you want to be very careful. The kind of alcohol you put into your system. When you have reached elasticity, some of you don't know that you have already reached elasticity. And you think because you're living, you have few dollars in your pocket, you want to be in the midst of your friends, you want to raise morale, so you choose not to go home. You go to entertainment centers. And then the next thing you fall off. Too many people fell off at entertainment center. You hear the people say, oh, you were here, oh, they were just sitting down, yeah, friends that were drinking, you just fall off. At the hospital, what the doctor said, but the man is stressed. Stress. You can amuse yourself even at your house. It does not necessarily have to be at entertainment center to raise morale, to see the girls in their short skirt and the different structures and colors. I know one of the reasons people go to entertainment centers in Liberia, people like to raise morale. But when you have worked throughout the week, especially the kind of work that you do, you want to just go home, rest good, eat good food, exercise a little, then you can sit in your yard and amuse yourself with whatever they drink. But listen, put these three things on your calendar, and I see many people do that, and they're going to live long. You want to rest enough, don't overuse yourself, don't allow the body to reach its elasticity point. Rest enough, eat the appropriate diet, take exercise. Exercise is very essential. You can go to the gym, or you can go on the football field, you jog around, you can time yourself, or you can even do it in your house or in your yard. It can be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You just do exercise. It's very essential. Don't just feel comfortable, you're just going. Just going. Week in, week out, you going. Good. At a certain point in time, you are just staying. Like I saw something on social media. They say the man went to work. He was so normal and coming. He asked that Tenny. That's the story I read. I don't know whether that is true or not, but the reason given, the right out. They say, yeah, he just fell off, well dressed. He wasn't a Zogo. He was not any person, because they saw that he was well dressed in his coat suit, everything, and those people who were around said he fell off. When he fell off, in no time, he gave up the ghost. So you see people walking. Not everybody that you see walking, I mean, everything normal. Some people walking, they're talking by themselves. They're thinking about this problem. They're thinking about this. They stress. And too much stress, according to the medical people, the psychologists, is a partner of death. In the workplace is tension driven. If you see what we go through at King's every day, you say, but listen, it doesn't overwhelm us. It doesn't cloud us, because every workplace is a tension-driven place. Your house is a tension-driven place. Just the street is a tension-driven place. The atmosphere alone. So put all those things on you, and you go home. You wouldn't want to give yourself rest so that you would think and just try to let go some things. You're going to fall. You're going to fall. You can finish everything. That's why God said, why will it profit a man if he gains the whole world? It's not possible. You need rest. Yeah, you need to give yourself rest. Just like Newton talk about, the man can sleep. Oh, my being. Yeah, I ain't what Newton talk about, the man can sleep. What? When the man feeling, you don't talk about go lay down, forget it. I think that Angel Gabriel, you call now to go wake up the bed to come. The man in here, Islamic form. That assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Yeah, man.
But Mr. Andrew, today's Friday now, so yeah, normally Fridays, wear the gun. Yeah, in solidarity of the Muslim religion, yeah, the Islamic.
So Friday, where you went at? You went to church more?
They get something like I borrowed some of that word from former representative Honorable Adam Bilkone. He said in King Chris Moose. Which means he can go to church, he can go to the mosque. So he Christian and Muslim, so he call himself Chris Moose. So for me, so I'm Chris Moose. Yeah, I'm both. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I'm going home and just talking about essential things, basic essentials that people need to take into consideration: sleep, exercise, eating good diet. And you are an example. You are an example, good example of sleep. Why you sleep too much, so long?
No, but you just said it, Mr. Andrews. Yeah, you just said it. It's good to rest the body. Yes, and most especially after, hard day of work, you have to rest. And what happens for me, my own experience is that, when I work, the whole day, and if I don't rest, sometimes, I get too sleepy, sometimes when I get oversleepy, what happens to me, Mr. Andrews? So that almost like I've taken drugs, almost like, I'm overdosed. Yeah, sometimes you'll be talking to me, I'm not even paying attention because, I'm sleepy. Yeah, I'm tired. Yes, very tired. Yes, that's how, it happens to me sometimes.
Exercise?
Yeah, it's good
you
to
exercise?
Yes. Normally I take exercise in the morning, and the exercise, maybe I do a sit-up. Yeah, sit-ups, push-ups. Yes. Those are the exercises, I do normally in the morning when I wake up. Yes.
But the attending by you not you can't apply any rules to you.
No, I didn't know, everybody know that one.
Yeah, but
I didn't tell you the powerhouse.
My man, you just eat. That one of the things that are affecting us, When I say us, I mean almost everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, we are not we're not careful with our diet.
Yes.
We just eat import part of oil, grease in the body,
and there are certain times you're not supposed to eat certain food. Yes, there are certain times. You're not
Oh,
supposed to
okay.
eat
Yeah,
certain
let's get that
food.
education.
Yes.
Good, you came in.
Like in the morning, sometimes that's why they have breakfast, they have dinner, they have lunch. Yeah, so in the evening hour, they are let food that you have to eat. Light food. Some people, drink the hot tea, bread, light food. Yes, for the evening hours. But the most especially for lunch, people eat heavy food. Maybe some people eat rice and all of that. In the morning, some people, that's breakfast, right? Breakfast in the morning, some people start up with, the same thing, normal thing that the tea and bread. Some people the cream of wheat, the cook out oat. They fix it very well with the milk and all of that. Those are, the different food that they eat in the morning, considering the different times of the day.
Yeah, because if you eat heavy a heavy meal in the evening, say between 8:30,
yeah.
now you
And
go
right after
to
eating,
bed.
going to bed. So how does the food does not digest well? So the food sit in the body. Sometimes you end up getting the sour belly and all of that.
Yeah, so it has a serious bearing on your health.
Very serious bearing on the health. Very serious one.
Yeah.
Yes, except for our the kind of society we find ourselves, like people in the Western world, and they have the different foods and they are used to that. It depends the kind of condition economically, right? Yeah, but in Africa, where do you find those kind of food to eat? If you don't have the capacity to provide those food, like in the morning you want to eat, you're supposed to eat certain food. If you don't have the capacity to get those food, to buy them,
Yeah, like
how do you eat
the
it?
vegetables.
Yeah, vegetables
usually.
and all of that. Like vegetable, you prepare the vegetable, the cabbage, and all of that. The avocado fruit, which is the butter pear, you slash all of those things and just put it in the plate. Yeah, all of the vegetable is good. It makes the body very strong. Yes, it makes the body strong. It fight against different sicknesses. It boosts the immune system and all of that. Yes.
And the body carries so many stuff, so many let's just say illnesses, and it's all because of what we put in it on a daily basis.
On a daily basis. Sometimes like some of the infection that it's difficult. Every now and then you treat it, go away, like typhoid and all of that. And it depends on the kind of, like just the same thing we say in the different food we eat and all of that. Yeah, most especially like some of the eating that the chicken feed, and most of the thing that in the cold storage, they will overstay in the cold storage and sometimes to the point that yeah, so it's not good. So you go, you buy, then you just only but nothing. Yeah.
Does frozen food have bearing on the health too?
It has bearing. It depends the time it stays in the cold storage. The time it stays in the cold storage. So some of those things they remain in the cold storage for years. Some of them spend year plus there. Yes, some of them spend year plus there to the extent that it will even be decaying. I think I recall one time that one of those cold storage, right? And I think the Ministry of Commerce were doing inspection. They noticed that there was some frozen food in a particular, I try to get the name, and the Ministry of Commerce were able to, because they were getting rotten. I think it was chicken feed or something, chicken feed, the cartoon. It was getting rotten. It was not good for the market. It was still selling on the market, and the Ministry of Commerce was actually doing inspection, and they got to know that they have to arrest those things and get rid of it from the market. Because those people, when they bring those stuff in the country, and they have like for example the freezing food, they have different branches in the different counties and all of that, so they'll bring the quantity, they will bring it in the country. Sometimes it can be sufficient, and it will spend some time that you will notice that it will stay, because once it overstay now, it's like getting ratty. Those the eggs can try, because the reason why they keep it in the cold storage before the eggs to preserve it.
Yeah.
So
once it goes through the preservation, it loses substance. Everything. Because the ice draws out the. So what you have is just the the chicken feet
Very
or the
good.
chicken thigh, or
bags.
but every other ingredient that you are
That's
is
exactly
off
what it
because
is. That's
it's not
exactly
good.
what it is.
And medically, I think I listened to a doctor who advised that you, just as you say, it's not too good, but is up to people to decide between meat, chicken, or frozen food and fish. But he said, and not only him, I've had the opportunity of speaking to a couple of doctors. They said the same thing. That's why I believe the first guy who said it, that fish is good for the body than the frozen food and meat. And he advised that people eat fish more.
The meat.
Yes. Now the medical people, they
Yeah.
know about it.
That's
Okay.
a field of study.
Okay, let's go, man. Let's go. How did the news greet you, or you greeted the news with Campione? Barcelona winning. That's how they call it in
Yeah.
Spanish. You are a Madrid fan. So in Spanish, they say Campione, meaning champion.
Yeah,
You felt bad, eh?
But that's a game. So for me, when my team, whenever my team gets defeated, though with the kind of love I've created for the team, it hurts, but that's how the game goes. So you'll not always be victorious. You will understand that even that, and that's why I've said that there's no team that's unbeatable. Yes, even the greatest champions of all times, they beat them, right? Yeah, so no team is unbeatable. So you'll notice how you'll beat B, and you come across another team that will have to beat you. That's how the game goes, and that's the good aspect of game, because and it's the game. If one team will have just continued to win, it means that the game could not be competitive.
I mean, the boy Jesus, man, 11 children from the academy.
Yeah, imagine how could you enjoy the game if maybe, for example, Barcelona, anything Barcelona meets, Barcelona beats that team. Anything Barcelona meets, they beat. Anything they miss, they beat. The game was not going to be entertaining. It's not going to be competitive. Why you think they took India then from the league? Because India then, because there was nothing to beat India then. Because India the first game they go play. How you go play game? They beat.
No, but yeah,
100 goals plus. So they have to take them from the league.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Just concede defeat and forget about bringing in those the shenanigans of it. Just because from the onset, the whole world honor-rated Barcelona and rated Real Madrid. Sports commentators, analysts, and journalists, before the league started, they had set the category that Barcelona was going to end the league at tier, Atletico Madrid second, Real Madrid first, and Kylian Mbappe will end the league with between 40 to 43 goals. Why did they give or single out Real Madrid? Because of their composition. Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo. So if you look at Real Madrid forward or just a setup at the time, you knew. And honestly, I should admit to all of my FC Barcelona fans and everybody, I got scared too from the onset. Oh yeah, with that composition, because our team just Barcelona, small children, the academy, or just fighting to put them together.
Players on the top.
Because that's what the guys look at too. The analysts look at and say, what with these names? And as composed as Barcelona that don't really have the name, they can make Real Madrid. Real Madrid will care, obviously. But to see that Barcelona with such an honor-rated side going to clinch La Liga title, the Spanish Cup and Cup, they did extremely well.
They did well. We must admit, Barcelona did well.
So your coach leaving, Carlo Ancelotti is leaving.
Yeah, we have another coach that come on board to move the team, to continue from where Ancelotti, stopped.
Yeah, BBC said he will be heading for Brazil to take over the Brazilian national team.
That's great.
Yeah. But Real Madrid did extremely well. They did extremely well. They fought hard. With the many injuries. They fought hard. Victoria left a comment before Victoria Kude Williams in the United States. She says, Sam, I see why you guys at Kings FM, the best radio station in Mama, Liberia. Wow, what a great advice for the people, eh? Okay. Then Victoria Savage. Victoria said, Sam, good topic. You guys should have a health program on your station. Our people don't know about healthy meals. Health talk is very important. Thanks for the topic. Liberians don't eat vegetables and fruits with meals. Vegetables are expensive in Liberia. Okay, man. That's all the time we've got to be with you guys. So how's the weekend going to be? You're going TGI every day. Say, thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. So for me, Mr. Andrews,
really
the weekend going to be fantastic. Very much fantastic. Yes, I can clearly say that, and we're going to be making our way. What we are going to be doing normally, most especially from our department, the Department of News and Public Affairs. Normally, some of the weekends we want to go out of the city, right, out of town, to get some experience, get some,
that's good.
Interest stories, about some of those things that are happening in those counties, most especially for those leeward counties. So maybe the weekend we want to make our way out of the nation's capital and go outside of the nation's capital to get some fresh stories for the coming week.
Okay, so before we go, let's say happy pre-birthday to Cornelius Johnson of Kings 88.5. His birthday is on the 20th of May. You want to know it? Cornelius Johnson birthday comes on May 20th. It's going to be a great celebration. Happy birthday, we say, and bless God Almighty that He has set May 20. Cornelius Johnson of Kings 88.5 as you get ready to celebrate your birthday. This is how the show resets for this week to return afresh on next week. However, the news is on at 6 and at 6:50 CDC hour, from 6:50 to 7:50, and at 8 o'clock, the nation's greatest. The only show that brings the entire country at a standstill. Everybody wants to listen because Teacher Light It is on at 8. Anthony at Law, A.B. Whalen. You don't want to miss it. From 8 to 10 o'clock tonight. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. That means next week. I'm Sam Andrews.
More fire, more heat. Kings 88.5 FM.
Playing the hot jams all day long.
Where the beat meets the heart of Liberia. Your home for the best hits, news, and community vibes. More heat.
It's your bonario. Sibiri Pila Patala. Liberty Fortune Company is here for every one of us. If you want to get money easy, buy Liberty Fortune scratch and win. They will make you get a kappa. Yeah. If you want to get money easy, buy Liberty Fortune scratch and win. They will make you get a kappa. Yeah. So let me see your hands up for Liberty. I say we are a big Pafate. I say we are a big Pafate. Let me see your hands up for Liberty. I say we are a big Pafate. I say we are a big Pafate. You can play with your $1 US or equivalent 200. Simple mathematics. When you buy a Liberty, you win your money straight.